Currently when we play a video in the Kotlin WebView app, it's only in the small screen. And when we try and click the full screen icon, nothing happens. So what we're going to do is enable that full screen. So when we click it, we get the full screen display on the device itself. Welcome to Mobile Application Tutorials. My name's Nigel. Okay, so we'll make a start. So if we go to the documentation and WebView there's a bit of a hint how to enable this. And as you can see here, we've got the full screen support, and we just want to override a couple of functions in the WebChromeClient, onShowCustomView and onHideCustomView. So we're going to implement those methods. But the very first thing we need to do is understand what's happening here. Basically, we've got a web view that's being displayed, and if we want full screen, we're going to have to hide that web view and set up another layout to show the custom view that the onShowCustomView will provide us. Anyway, so we'll make a show to demonstrate what's going on there. So if we go to Android Studio 3.0, I think I'm using the release candidate here, but it's very similar to the earlier beta releases. And what we want to do is go into the main layout file here, and I'm just going to make a few changes here. So this entire layout here, we're actually going to hide it, and so what I'm going to do is put that inside a FrameLayout. So I'll just go across here and create a FrameLayout. Now I'm just going to copy all the settings in the current linear layout here and put it into the FrameLayout. And now we need to remove some of these fields because they're now in the frame layout. So we can move those fields there. Keep the vertical, and I'm going to have to remove that because that's now in the frame layout, this line here. And we will need to put a closing item tag there. Right, and we can remove the orientation here, that's only for the linear layout, so we can delete that line there. And what I want to do inside the linear layout is give it an ID, because we're going to call it from inside our main activity. So we'll give it an ID, and I'll just call this the main container. And that should be fine. And I also want to create another frame layout to contain our full screen view. So we'll go down here. I've got a little warning here. I do need to close the parent frame layout, so I'll do that now. Okay, and above here I'm going to create another frame layout. Set both of these width and height to match parent. And I want to set an ID for that, so ID, and so I'll set this ID as the full screen container. And also want to set the visibility for this as well, so let's try that again. And I'll set that as gone. So I only want this frame to be displayed when we're playing the full screen. Okay, that's fine there. We've got two layouts here, the linear layout for our main web view and this frame layout here to display the full screen. Now we can go into the main activity file here, and we want to go inside our WebChromeClient. If we go back to the documentation here, so it's inside we set a WebChromeClient, which we've already done in a previous tutorial, and we set the onShowCustomView and the onHideCustomView. So go back into code there, and we're going to implement those two methods in our WebChromeClient. So here's our WebChromeClient there. So I want to override a couple more methods. So override methods. I'm just going to drag this into the box so you guys can see what's going on here. So we want to show onShowCustomView and onHideCustomView. Select those two. Okay, we've got those two there now. And before I move any further forward, I want to create a view that's accessible from both of these overridden functions here. So I'll put that at the top of my activity. And it's going to be a Kotlin lateinit variable because we're only going to initialize it once the user selects the large screen. So we won't know what the value is currently. So, but I'll select this as, I'll call this, what should we call it, FullscreenView. And it's going to be of the type view. Okay, so we can scroll on back down to our WebView to our WebChromeClient, not the WebView client, the WebChromeClient here, and start setting up the code for that. So first thing I want to do is just do what's called in Kotlin a smart cast. So we can call our view parameter is it a frame layout, which it should be. And so not only will this do the check, that will also do what we call a smart cast and cast it into a frame layout. So we'll do a check for that. And if that's good, we can then initialize our, if we go back to the top here, full screen view. So type full screen view equals view. Right, and the next line underneath that is we want to add that view to our, if we go back to our main layout file, we want to add it to this frame layout here. So if we call the, what is the ID for that full screen container? And call add view with the full screen view. So that will now be added. Okay, now we want to make our full screen container visible. So we'll call visibility and call view.visible. And we'll also need to make our web view, our main activity, invisible just so we can show that full screen. So we'll call the main container visibility equals view and make that gone. Okay, so that should now display our video in full screen mode. Now we need to, if we go back to the main activity, we're going to need to hide that view. So we'll go down here into onHideCustomView, and we'll call our full screen container. And I'm going to call remove view because that view's been created by this callback, so we can now remove that. So we'll call it full screen view to get access to that. And I want to hide my container. So we'll call visibility here again. We'll make that view.gone. And we need to show our main activity again. So we'll call the main container. And set the visibility equals view.visible. Okay, that should be the only lines of code we need to make, so let's run this and see if it works. Okay, the application's now running. I've actually opened up one of my tutorials with the video, so we'll click play on that. We've got the small screen there, and if we click it again, we can bring up the full screen icon, click it there, and we've got the display being displayed in full screen. And if I press back, it's coming back to the shorter size display there. And that completes this Kotlin on Android tutorial where we learned how to display our web view video in full screen mode. So basically we just had to ensure we had a view in a container to display our video view, and we just called onShowCustomView and onHideCustomViews overridden methods to implement that. So if you want to get notified of the tutorials I'm working on, don't forget to click that subscribe button. And if you want to get full documentation and details and videos on how to get this source code, I'll put a link and a card in the description on how you can get that. You'll need to sign up to our website, but don't worry, it's free. Thank you for taking the time to watch this one. Bye for now.